Good evening, everyone. Welcome to ordinary town meeting, town council meeting, the Town Council on the 11th of March. It's now 7 o'clock. Beginning of the session, we allow 10 minutes for members of the public, where they are allowed to ask questions to the council on local council matters. Has anyone else to speak this morning? Please, the floor is yours.
Right, good evening, councillors. Accidents waiting to happen is my theme tonight. Behind two questions. So the first area I've got concerned about is the prom. Now, I'm well aware that you are already, no doubt already have that on your radar as a major concern, because it is starting to break apart gradually at both ends. But my concern is, I'm assuming that that's already on your radar, that I wouldn't be coming here tonight if I didn't have a greater worry about something that an accident that might happen there more quickly than, months or years away or something. And that is the joints between the concrete sections are covered by, I'm not sure what the substance is, whether it's plastic or rubber or something, but it covers the expansion joints between the concrete sections. And they are raised and badly raised. And the other day when it was raining, I guess the rain unsettles the ground even more, and it dries out and then flattens out a bit like it has today. But the other day, there were a number of points where you could easily put your foot in it and go right over. Now, I'm local. I walk that prom a lot. I know what to expect. I usually often running anyway, so I've raised my feet. I'm not likely to get tripping in that. But if I was a tourist, I could easily catch my foot in one of 10 of those. I counted 10 today, where it's like that. They are in a terrible state, and something needs doing about it. Now, I'm also aware that the Gwynedd Council does the prom repairs, and I know you only have powers to raise a concern. You don't have the money yourself, nor do you have the power to actually do it yourself. What I'm asking is that you do raise that with them and you try to get something done about it, because I see an accident happening now with a kid or an elderly person who's not aware of what to expect. And obviously, the darker it is, if you do that in the evening, if you're walking in the evening, you are more likely to have that sort of accident. Secondly, I'm not going to name the road because this is recorded, isn't it? We have the usual problem of boy racers. And again, I wouldn't be raising that if it wasn't the fact that it's been getting worse lately. That the speed that they're coming through with the road where we live is increasing well over 20 miles an hour. 30, 40, it's hard to judge speeds when you just sort of looking from the side, but it's definitely over 20 miles an hour. And they gained in confidence because nothing is being done about it. So again, I'm asking you, and I know you don't have the powers to do that, but to represent that point to the police and try to get something done about it. Because again, we've got an accident in the making, some kid or elderly person, somebody kicking a football across the road, or one of the pets, and the pets there is going to get killed soon, right?
Have you taken the time to report these matters to yourself, to either Gwynedd Council or more broadly?
Are you even going to ask me that? No, okay. That's why I came tonight, because I think it's a concern that should be raised to you as a council. Okay, I'm hoping that you'll do something about it. Right?
Yes. Quentin,
yeah.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Or sorry, no.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
Is it the part that goes from Pier Road to Brynham Moor that you're most concerned about, or is it the other end of the prom?
It's the part that goes by Sandylands.
Yes.
There are, I was running that yesterday or in
North Prom, I suppose.
It's the North
had
Prom,
10
yeah.
points which are raised. And if you were to catch your foot on them, because they're quite firmly anchored at each end, it's like a catapult,
Yeah.
you could tip over very easily and break something.
Thank you.
Okay.
I am aware that members of the Site Loss Council had reported it to Gwynedd Council, so
As well.
yeah, as well, yeah.
Yeah.
John.
I will agree with that. I've reported over the last 5-6 years. Quentin is quite right about his plastic or whatever. And they have been replaced when I reported it. As regards the speeding, which I know covers on Pier Road, Marine Parade, and Corbett Avenue, and other places in town. It's disgusting. I reported before, and you've been informed before. But I think you need to send a letter from town council and back up what I've been trying to do for the last 5 years.
How about we catch up with our local PCSO? And
I suggest
you
you
already built relations.
PCSO was here last time, said there was no update in form. So I reckon we go to the top, not to the bottom.
I would agree with that. I mean, yes, I know the police have raised it with one of these young gentlemen, but it doesn't seem to have had an effect.
No.
If it had not had an effect, then you raise the concern, you go.
You've got to go to the top, not to the bottom.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you very much, Quentin. Yes, Chris.
So just on your 2 points, Quentin.
yeah,
Yes, obviously, we will write to Gwynedd Council about the condition of the prom. I have also made inquiries and made representation to the Go Safe speed van to come down, do a survey in the area, and they've responded to me to say they are monitoring the situation. I've got no more information from them than that, but we will, if anybody does see the van in town, please let me know, that'd be lovely. To see that it has been, we have already made that request, but I will be chasing that up as well.
Eileen?
Just asking, are there certain times, that we can give a little bit more
Yeah.
detail?
okay, so some of them are clearly going to work in the morning, so anything from 7 to half past 8, something like that. And in the evening, more of a joyride, so it's more like what do you do as well, don't you?
Yes,
It's anything from 8 till 11, something.
correct.
Done.
Before I was interrupted, to put my hand up first, there are various things going on down there that need sorting out. As Quentin has quite rightly said, about the speeding and the cars, in the evening they come down there joyriding, and in my opinion, drug deal, which I brought up on the PCS over here. But to have them in charge of it, they can't, because they have not got the authority to arrest like police officers have. So it should be an unmarked car with the relevant constables or whatever you like in it.
So from my experience then, working with local police, they all work from intelligence from our reports. They can't build a picture if they don't know what's happening. So my advice is to encourage everyone to report everything on their website or via 101 non-emergency. Okay.
Again,
Move
Chair, I
on.
must say,
We've heard
I
everything so far,
reported it
John.
so many times, not just
John.
as you say now.
That's it. It's the end of the item. We're going to move on with the
Right,
agenda.
I have a freedom of speech,
You do.
and if
but
you
right
are
now,
cutting that out,
we are going.
If
to
you
move
are
on
cutting
to
that
point
out.
number 1.
no,
Okay. So number 1, apologies for absence early today.
It's Olivia Woodward.
Point number 2, declarations of financial interest or personal connection. Anyone anything to declare tonight?
The towing events, well, I don't know what number it is,
Wow.
12. Without looking on my phone.
It's all right. Anyone else? Anne?
Yeah, number 14, I'll be leaving the room for that one because I'm not planning. The others, I'm a local member for the other 2 plans, so I can stay and I'll take part in that.
That up?
Chair, may I ask a question?
As long as it's quick, yes, please.
Is this meeting being on Zoom or The other, which you know, tonight,
being recorded and it will be uploaded tomorrow.
is this on like Abu Dhabi now?
I'm not aware of what Abu Dhabi do.
Oh, I thought.
We are not live.
We're not live.
recorded
It's been
and posted.
Why is that?
Because we haven't got a YouTube channel.
Right, Abu Dhabi have a YouTube channel. Why haven't we? It's been months now.
Okay.
Since we have had a.
John, this isn't the section for it.
It is, sir.
No, it's not. We're on direct declarations of
Okay,
financial
cut
interest.
me out again.
Okay, if you have any.
I know what it
questions, put them in writing, send them to the email, or
go
respond
to
at
the
the
office.
appropriate time, i.e. clerk's report would be a nice place for that one. Okay?
Yeah.
Number 3, chairman's activity report. I have been away for a couple of months, but don't think there's been any events since Hurricane Grant Award. However, I have received 2 letters of complaint in the last month. One of them is regarding town council, councillors' decisions and various relationship issues which we are aware of within this month. I am still reading through that one. There is a lot to sift through, and the person that wrote it will hopefully understand that it is taking its time, because I wish to be thorough and do it properly. Hopefully by next meeting, I will have some kind of resolution of how we're going to pass it on. I've also received a letter through my door, and it isn't signed, but it's around, again, in a Samingwin, but it's around health and safety while they're doing work around the woods. I've read it. I have passed it on to Chris. So later on, we'll have a discussion as to how we're going to contact Samingwin and try and rectify this for public safety reasons.
Chair, could that be published between all the council? As it came, I hope, under the auspices of the council.
It was addressed to myself personally, so
Yeah.
I will point it in the right direction, and we are not the body to be dealing with it. So it will be pointed towards us.
Normally, if it's anonymous, we don't take any notice of anonymity.
Okay.
Yes, they should be able to sign it at the bottom.
So point number 4 then, minutes. To receive and approve minutes of the ordinary meeting of the council held Wednesday, the 11th of February 2026.
I propose we accept them.
Any comments to be made first? I wasn't here, so any amendments need to be made. Mark's proposed, any seconder?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Are we all in favour? Any objections? Any abstentions?
I wasn't here, so I wasn't at the meeting, so.
Next lot of minutes, point number 5, minutes of the finance committee meeting held on Wednesday, the 18th of February. Again, any comments to be made about those first of all?
No, those we accept them. I'll second them.
Any objections? Sorry, all in favour? I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, objections and any abstentions? So, repeat.
Chair, I wish to abstain because nothing to do with the person involved. The councillor Matthew Coolin, here, he was allowed to submit his comments throughout the meeting. So I sent it by Zoom, and when I was asked the question, I was through the chairman. It's on the tape.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll let people make their own judgment on that. I was also present.
I
So
know.
I will move on then to point number 6, to receive and approve the responsible financial officer's report for February 2026. So any comments first of all? Any questions? Votes? Comment?
Again, well done on the way it's set out. It's clear, concise, spent a lot of time doing his job as the clerk of the council and preparing the report, so I propose we accept it.
Proposal. Thank you very much, Ron. Second, yes. Thank you, Alan. All in agreement? Any objections? Any abstentions? Oh, thank you. Number 7, then, to receive and approve the clerk's reports. You've had a chance to read it. I will take any questions or comments first of all, please. Mark, please.
Does the clerk get paid enough for all the work that he does? And time and effort that he puts in?
It's a matter for the personnel committee.
It was a question.
It was a
You
question.
said, have you got any questions?
That's true, yes.
And then moving on from that, I propose we accept his report.
And propose that we have a personnel committee. I keep asking every year that we should have one on a regular basis.
Who's chair of personnel?
Last year.
I've been asking for a personnel meeting for the last 6 months. In fairness, so
Okay.
we do need to be doing annual reviews. I agree
Yeah.
with that. So
Have a meeting, so there's no chair.
Yeah.
Okay. So proposal for to accept the clerk's report.
I did say.
Yes,
propose.
Mark, sorry, you did. Second, Marisa. All in agreement? Any objections? Any abstentions? Great. Number 8 then, an opportunity for councillors to report back to the council following their attendance at an external committee. Marisa, please.
I have 2. First of all, just to update everybody on the situation with the NEAF, with the electric bill. We are now down to 17,500. So in the last year, we have paid off 10,000 of it. So I would like to thank the council for their help. The other thing I have attended was a launch of the Sight Loss Council at the Senedd. We have met one member, obviously that's why I went, that is a Towyn resident. Part of their role as a Sight Loss Council is things like, as Mr. Deacon has brought up, things that are dangerous, but obviously and I'm using the word see, but yeah, obviously they're sight loss, so they see it in a different way to the rest of us. So there will be at certain times things that they will pass on to me, which I will pass back on to council. They attended a meeting with last week with Betsy Cadwallader about certain other issues, but so it is ongoing, but there will be a few things that come back that we will have to act on. Okay.
Thank you.
In relation to Betsy Cadwallader, I've had a meeting with Jane Barraclough, who's in charge of the organisation that is in favour of the ward staying open. She wanted to clarify, is there a council representative on the council that goes to the meetings that BCHB are organising? There's one on the 20th.
We have been invited to a meeting on the 20th, and as far as I'm concerned, aware of, that's our first one. Councillors.
Well, you say we've been invited?
Chair and vice chair.
Yeah, it's not open to the rest of us.
No.
So I answered that I hadn't been invited. So her question was, they say that a council has a representative, Town Council has a representative. So do we have a representative? If we don't have one, then that's the answer. We don't have one. One hasn't been elected.
Up until now, no. We've not had a councillor representative. I don't know if Chris has had it, but
Incorrect.
Say that again, sorry, I missed that bit.
as far as I'm aware,
Yeah,
the town council has not elected a representative to sit on any meeting involving Towing.
Is it something we should be doing?
And have you been involved in past meetings, Chris?
I have.
Yeah.
I was invited as a proper officer of the council to attend, and Anne has been attending as Gwynedd County Council.
We've attended for about 2 years, and Chris has always reported on in his clerk's report on the attendance and what the discussions have been.
So you're Anne, can I ask Anne?
Please, yeah.
Direct. Anne,
Through the chair, please.
through the chair. So Anne is the representative for Gwynedd Council, and other Gwynedd councillors not in Towing are representative from their wards.
I don't know the
No.
makeup of their meetings.
Well, initially, when the ward first shut, every county council was invited. I think Councillor John Pugh has attended 1 or 2, and I think Councillor Louise Hughes and Councillor Dewi Owen have attended 1 or 2 right at the beginning. But it's mainly Councillor Beth Lawton and myself that have been attending all along.
Okay, and John's here, you can account.
All I can say is that the initial meetings, I was getting a bit fed up with this attitude of telling us loads of spiel. We were both, Anne and myself, invited, so was Louise Hughes and everything. But this meeting next week, the other county councillors, which their electorate are represented and have used Towing Community Hospital for generations. I think Betsy Cadwaladr need to pick their finger up, and other councillors would need to stop saying, yes, we'll close this hospital, because we don't want it closed. We want it open.
So, Mark, we do not have an elected representative.
Can I just interrupt 2 seconds? I will be at the
So-
meeting, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be there,
But not.
but not as an elected representative. I go in as part of the Sight Loss Council.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't want anybody to think that.
I am not against.
Yeah.
I've asked if I can go, and I've not been offered to go, so I won't be there, will I? So those that do go, can we just like have a bit of feedback from whatever the meeting is? And then she sent me an email with regard to the steering group that was formed. So is that part of the same thing or not? The email's quite lengthy. You might want to read it. Do you want me to read it out or not?
I'm not aware of the steering wheel.
Really.
Please.
I received an email in late December saying that the steering group is being re-established. There was a meeting in January which I was unable to attend. I'm not aware of another date being proposed for the steering group because I didn't attend. I don't know the exact makeup, but on the invitation that came to me, I think Anne, I think your name was on there possibly.
I don't think I was invited.
But when I looked through the emails, if there were, say, 15 people named on the email, I think 12 of them were connected with the health board.
Yeah, so the steering group's mostly made up of people that work for
Yes,
Betsy Cadwaladr.
yes, maybe that.
Well, that is their very point. It's not.
But we don't know what the steering group is meant to do. If that makes sense. I don't know what they're reporting you for it all, because I was only unable to go to the last meeting.
Can I ask through the chair that the clerk looks into putting this council back on the steering group and make the meetings open to the rest of the councillors to attend?
Yeah. Also, at the beginning, when the steering group, as they call it, was set up, Mabon ap Gwynfor and Liz Savile has attended 2 meetings. But just like myself, again, fed up with the fobbing off at Betsy Cadwaladr. As I say, other councillors, they run with the offices, as they say. That's my true considered.
Sorry.
You wanted to say something?
Oh, well, not really. I mean, what we were there to hear evidence of what was happening, quite honestly. And, if a lot of more people had heard what we had to hear, then you have to go on that. And I know that they did everything that they possibly could to advertise, you know, to get more staff in, and they couldn't. We had a ward manager, she went off on maternity leave and then resigned after the maternity leave. You know, it's the problems of recruitment, you know. And we've had the same problems with GPs before in the area, and GPs don't actually, as far as I understand, weren't covering the ward in Towyn anyway. They were being covered from Dolgellstown. So, you know, there's all sorts of issues. But I'm going back to this item.
Yeah.
You want to know what we've been doing on external?
I was just bringing us back. Thank you.
Right. So on Friday the 27th, we all had an invitation to go to the Gwyl Dewi celebrations on the prom. And I think it was Eileen and Nancy and myself, and I don't know if anybody else, and Kath actually did the walk.
I volunteered as a
But it was a wonderful event, to be honest, wasn't it? With Ysgol Uwchradd, Ysgol Pen-y-Bryn, Bragaderin, Corris, and Pennell, all the schools there, and seeing the it must have been about 150 children, you know, all going up with, and more probably, going up and down. And much better this year than last year, because it poured with rain last year, and this year it was fresh, but you know, dry.
A lot of work had gone into it because they'd made all the little flags themselves.
Okay.
When you said to them, "Da iawn," all smiles.
Yeah. And they'd learned some different songs and things, haven't they? Especially
Had a lovely sing song.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
I agree with what's happened, and I appreciate it, very commendable for that. But we were on the one.
I think we're taking that one as far as we could at this
You
present
haven't
time.
said so, sir.
Sorry,
You hadn't said so.
I was just about to, but Anne beat me to it.
Right, but it should be said before. Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other comments for this one? Okay, move on to number 9 then, please. Opportunity for Towyn Town councillors to ask questions of and receive a report from Gwynedd councillors regarding matters relating to Towyn. Ron, please. You might want to unmute first, please.
Switch on and on. That's it, you're right. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Here we go.
Yeah, better.
Hi, Ron.
Oh, hiya. Sorry about that. Yeah. Being in the front line on the high street, I don't know if I've missed anything about the Corbett, but the last information I sort of heard was it was going to Planning Commission in Gwynedd to get permission to demolish this and that and the other thing. But I'm getting, there's a lot of people who live in Frankwell Street, and a couple of customers live in Frankwell Street, and I've got quite a few holiday makers coming down, regular holiday makers, and they asking me questions. What's happening with the hotel? Can I ask Gwynedd councillors if they have any more information they could give me, please?
Okay. Anyone? John?
Sorry, Ron, we can't get any further information about what you've already been told. Because the premises belongs to a private person, everything has to go through the court. At the end of the day, that it's causing big problems in town with the one-way system and everything. And until it does go before Gwynedd Plannings, I can't comment. But I have 10 minutes to explain the people's thoughts of town and what they want to do. It is not considered a full demolition. It may be a partial one, which CADU and another organisation have been involved with, but it's costing, I can't remember, was it 10, 15,000? Is it a month or a week? It needs to be sorted out. The possible damage to the properties and human life That's why they carried on with it.
Yeah.
And there are many businesses in the area who are suffering quite badly.
I believe we're also at our 1 year anniversary now, aren't we, since the road being
Yeah.
closed? Yeah.
And I can remember when Lloyd Jones phoned me up on a Sunday, and I went up there and I got the people down straight away. You know, at the end of the day, it's a dangerous building, and if they follow through with what is initially put forward of partial demolition, but that would safeguard the other houses and the location. Until either that's done or a full demolition, I have no sway in it. It comes before the planning.
Well, we all have our own personal opinions on what should be done.
Yeah.
But as long as everything's done safely,
Correct.
to the book, then I think we should support that. However long it takes. I know it's an inconvenience, but it's got to be done right.
The big inconvenience.
Matthew.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask John on that point. We had a discussion as it was a planning matter, either in the last meeting or the meeting before. I think you excused yourself from the meeting at that point. But I was just wondering whether you represent the views of the town council that were expressed in that meeting.
I represent the views of the town council, plus the views of my elected, our elected. And it'll be a hard decision to make. I've been born here, I have many ancestors working there and everything. To me, it was the iconic place. There were many functions there, and I can remember the Reg Boys. It was fantastic.
John. Mark.
2 items. One, to Anne, because she's said that she's the Gwynedd representative on this health board meeting thing. So it's just, can she update us on, in this part of the meeting, in future, if you go to a meeting that nobody else can attend, can you update us of what is going on? Because you brought up that they can't get people to work there. But I know for a fact from people that have applied and people that have tried to apply and look for these jobs, they're very hard to even find. So that point needs bringing up at one of the meetings that you go to or somebody goes to. The other thing is, and this is to both Gwynedd councillors, and I think Marisa has brought this up before, so I'm going to bring it up now, but the increase in the poll tax rates, whatever you want to call it, that we have to pay now is to Gwynedd Council. If it keeps going on, it's not even in relation to what people earn in this community. It's like half of 1 week's wage per month going just so that you can live in the property that you're living in, whether it be rented or your own or whatever. So do the Gwynedd councillors from the areas that we live in, so not just our two, but other areas as well, do they have a say in what that fee is going to be?
I'll go back to the Corbett first, Chairman, if I can, and just say I won't say anything about the planning because I sit on the planning committee, and so I won't take part in that. But I know that the Cabinet have put £1.5 million aside just to keep the Corbett safe. And that can be seen on the website, on the council, cabinet meetings. So, there were people questioning, would they do this for every building? Put this money because it's not even bringing it back to what it was. On the second point, if I could just give my quick report, which I made a few notes here. I have attended various meetings. During the past months, the Standards Committee, Democracy Committee, Area Committee, and presentation of Arling Close, who advised Gwynedd on their investments. And then Gwynedd Council was held on the 5th of March. This is answering Councillor Kendall's question, where the council tax was set for 2026-27. I agree with Councillor Kendall, the cumulative effect of these increases all the time is really affecting people. And for those who really are suffering, there is help to be had there. So Well, we had £264 million of government grants, and then a further 115,691 of council tax income million. So the council agreed on an increase of 4.75% this year. That has been up to 9%, and I've always voted against that. But the problem is the homelessness that the council are facing at the moment, and the social services and the budgets. They just lose the budget. You have to deal, with whatever you put in the budget. If you have a crisis there, you've got to deal with that. So there's an increase of 4.75, which was passed as a baseline, and further 0.42% from North Wales Fire and Rescue Authority. So that gives a total of 5.17% increase. But on top of that, there's a further 398.25 police tax. And then on top of that, for Tywyn, and every town varies depending on what we preset for, there's £60.48. So it makes for 2026, the bandy in Tywyn, 2,338.72 a year, which is,
It's a quarter of some people's wage.
Yeah. But that's what was passed in the Gwynedd Council last Thursday.
Can I just, the help that is offered, Anne, I'll talk to you about it first, later, but it isn't helpful. In some cases, they're giving people £1 a month off their council tax. I mean, you might as well not bother. Do you know what I mean? It's not, yeah.
I think the difficulty I always had with anything with the council tax, so those people that are just on the border, who are working, those who don't work, they will get the benefits and the help. But it's just those that some people are doing 2-3 jobs, and then when you have this increase, it's really hard, and there won't be help for them then.
No, that's the problem.
So as I feel obliged to point out that anything financial based, anything financial, if you are struggling, you've got CAB for independent debt advice or help with benefits, and there are other companies out there. So if you know of anyone who needs help, please point them in their direction. Yeah, Matthew.
I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, it's none of us like paying more money, but we're putting finger at the wrong people, I'm afraid. And councils have to provide services. Anne's quite rightly pointed out that when homeless people present, when social care costs go up, when costs of diesel and transportation and everything like that goes up, the money has to come from somewhere. If it's not coming from a central government grant, where are they going to get it from? Because they've got to provide these services. So the issue isn't with the council, the issue is with central government. So I'd suggest that people use their votes wisely when it comes to the Senate election and the general election in 4 years' time, because they're the people that ultimately put the vast majority of money into council services, and they've been absolutely decimated since 2010. And that's why we're in the crap hole. Excuse my language.
John.
Right, the first thing about the corporate. 3.5 years ago, there was an officer that came down from Wellflops. He allowed the council £150,000. Was told to issue certain procedures, and Gwynedd didn't do it at the time.
I've got to ask, is this the right place for a history lesson?
It's not a history lesson, it's informing the people of town.
We can't hear you speaking, John.
If you don't interrupt, then you can.
No, we can't.
No, at the end of the day, this has been happening for so long. £150,000 is sorted out by issuing certain documents, summonses, whatever. And since then, because of the way certain things were enacted, that's why we're in the state we are now. And it's costing us, as taxpayers, thousands of pounds, or it will do. And that should not be done.
Okay. Nothing else? Any more questions?
I'm sorry,
Alright.
can I go back to number 8, or is it too late?
Okay, go on then.
Just to say I was invited to the Tamsin Railway International Women's Day on Sunday, and it was an amazing day. Yeah, thank you to them for providing that with free of charge. There were lots of demonstrations up there and an afternoon tea as well back on the train, which was fantastic for them to do that.
I'd be disappointed not to have received an invite.
I was also invited to that, but I waved them off because I didn't have the time, unfortunately, to go up on the train as well.
Good to hear. Yes, Alan.
Going back to the Happy Valley Road again. So it's a monthly concern of mine. Because of the gasworks that are on in Abu Dhabi, traffic has increased by 60, 70, 80%, which is creating a bit of a fracas because most of them can reverse.
They can't.
And I know every lay-by on that road, and I'm in reverse before they stop. The road in from through Cwmllan has been done a very good job on it. All the ditches have been cleaned out and everything. All they've done on the Happy Valley Road is take the sweeper up. And once you go to the side of the road, there's another dollop of mud on the road as well. So I would like to see the same thing done on the Happy Valley Road. Whether that can be done by our local county councillors, and as well a letter from the town council to highways. I might not mention it next month. Hopefully.
Well, I think
Fingers crossed.
if they just
Yeah,
did
Alan.
it, you wouldn't have to, would you?
No.
They just emptied the drains and did what they used to do years ago.
Okay. Can we move on then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Point number 10 then, to consider an application for grant funding by Towing Spirit Link. A lot of paperwork for this application. We reviewed it through finance, and I think we are asking for more information.
Who's chair of the finance? Who? Eileen. Would it be better if Eileen says what happens then?
Gareth was there.
Sorry?
Weren't you, Gareth?
Chair.
We did go back to the organisation though for more information, so if I can ask Chris to fill us in.
So we asked for some clarity in their projected figures, which has all been sent out to you. I think some of the confusion was they had muddled up some of the monthly forecasts with quarterly forecasts, which is why, as Matthew spotted, some of the numbers didn't add up in the way we were expecting them to do. They had provided posters for the inaugural events, their bilingual posters. I think that was all we required.
Manders, how much were they asking?
To copy
So-
there, haven't you?
Yeah, so following the finance meeting, it's agreed to defer the application to tonight. The application is for 3 payments of £100 to help get the organisation up and running.
Was to help with the website, was it? Yeah.
The performance.
I think it's the finance committee, we were supportive of it,
Yeah.
weren't we? But we just needed the further information. We had the further information, so I propose that we do give the £100.
300.
Three lots of £100 for them to start.
I think
Have they done any fundraising themselves to start this off? Which is,
they had put some money in themselves to get them going.
yeah, okay.
They could ask each member for £5.
Yes. In their
Ah,
membership.
I know,
for ongoing.
membership fee
Fine.
as well.
So the grant funding was just to get the group going. Mark?
I'm assuming they're paying to hire the £9 rates. So my point is, by helping this organisation, you're actually helping 2 organisations, which in my opinion is good for the £9 rate and good for this new organisation, so I agree with what Anne proposed, which is that you give them the 3 lots of £100. So I second her proposal.
Matthew?
Yeah, so the question I raised, and thank you for allowing me to speak, although I didn't vote at the finance meeting, obviously. I still don't understand their cash flow where it comes to the membership at £5 per member. Assuming membership numbers at 15, 20, 25 and 30, I don't understand how they arrive at those figures, because either they're wrong on the low side or they're wrong on the high side, depending on how they've produced them.
Okay, Matthew, so in the membership,
Yeah.
so say between June and August,
Uh-huh.
they're saying £300.
Yeah.
That's 20 members at £5 each for 3 months.
Okay, but the 15, the first month, if it's 15 times 5, that's 75. So it should be £225, not 130. I don't understand the
Yeah.
numbers. It's messy.
30. One, so the 30 is correct.
Mm.
125, the 25 is correct.
Exactly, or
Because the 15 is in.
guess on you've got three understanding then.
Yeah.
Basically, that can have secret not, you know.
What they put.
135.
My concern is if they can't get basic numbers right after we've asked them for them.
Over 3 months.
Yeah.
Even if they got that one in 2 months, it still doesn't add up. But yes.
Well, they know numbers.
But again, if the clerk can go back, we can give them if you know he's happy with their answers. Yeah. Yeah.
As proposal.
And a second.
And the second.
Chair, before you go further. We had an agreement with us with where this community, town council use allows £15,000 or thereabouts, which we lost.
Okay, do we want to sign past behaviour with the new group?
In my
I
opinion,
don't think that's the right move to make.
in my opinion, no.
I think I don't think we should bring it up. No.
Well, I brought it up.
We've had
and
a
I said-
proposal, £100 payment, we've had a seconder.
Yeah.
I believe.
Again, as long as these figures are checked out, you know.
But it's only the one.
One
So
figure, isn't
for
it?
the 9 months, the biggest big tally.
Yeah.
Just the first.
Human error.
Human errors.
Okay, so we've got proposal seconder for 3 payments of £100 to be made. Do we all agree?
Yeah, it's promised.
Any objections? Any abstentions? Thank you. Number 11 then, to consider application for grant funding by the Spotlight Awards.
This was discussed at the finance committee meeting following the discussion. It was proposed to the recommendation to this meeting was to make an award of up to £2,000 to underwrite any possible loss in hosting the event. So it's not a donation of £2,000, it's to cover any losses up to a maximum of 2,000.
I propose that, Chairman, we had a long discussion on it.
Yeah.
I second that.
Do we all approve of that one?
Can you just ask a quick question? Sorry, and it's just one of those just gone in my head. Should those that have been on the finance committee, sorry, I don't want to be the ones proposing the second, shouldn't we? Those are not on it. Does that make sense?
You can.
No, I'm just
That's the
asking.
full council now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm just asking, you know.
This is full council.
Yeah, I know, but
Open to everyone to vote.
yeah, I know that, but should those who are not on the finance then have, do you see what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to say, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, do you see what I'm, yeah, I'm not explaining it very well, but obviously quite well, actually, but, you know, because Anne and Nancy are both on, and I'm not having to go at them, please don't think, are both on finance. So then shouldn't the conversation, you know, because we're told each time, it was said at finance, we were told,
If you've got a
Yeah.
question to ask
Yeah,
about it,
but it
this is the
shouldn't-
time to ask.
yeah, but it shouldn't be dismissed immediately, it was, do you see what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
No, I was just proposing, because we spent a long
Yeah.
time
Yes, but-
discussing all of these applications, didn't we, in the finance committee, so.
I
we've
appreciate
gone through
that, but
it
what I'm
thoroughly.
saying, yeah, but what I'm saying is we haven't at council, for council, you know, so, yeah, I don't want it to feel dismissed. Yeah.
Current way of working is it does come to full
Yeah,
council for
yeah,
final
yeah.
approval, so that's your opportunity then
Yeah.
to ask
Yeah, yeah.
questions where you.
And councillors are free to go to the meetings
Yeah.
Yeah.
and watch and observe, and they're free to watch them on.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm
Channel.
not saying that, Mark.
No,
yeah.
I'm not, what
What
I'm
I'm
saying
saying
is,
yeah.
if you're interested in a particular thing,
Yeah.
you can actually watch the process, can't you?
And you can take part.
All right, okay, let's reel it back a bit.
Yeah, sorry.
So, thanks, Chris.
And the finance committee is reported back in a minute. Well.
No, I think I have overcome words, but it's not exactly what I meant.
Our recommendation then was to underwrite the event up to £2,000. We've had a proposal and a seconder. Do we approve, please? See the hand again. Any objections?
I suggested they have the full amount. They want.
You did. It was proposed in the finance meeting. There was no seconder, so it fell.
So I reiterate.
So any abstentions, please? Okay. Number 12 then to consider application
I'm gonna go out the room.
of grant funding by Towing Events Organisations. Thank you, Mark.
I'm just
On that
wary
street
of
into two parts.
wary about proposing.
This is the lantern.
There's just one part from the back. That's
Yeah,
all.
send it to the balance, no, just the balance and Victor's here.
Yeah.
The finance committee then recommended £700 be awarded for the lantern, the craft materials for the lantern parade
And workshops.
and the workshops.
Can I propose that we accept the resolution of the finance committee and.
Yeah, I second that.
Thank you. Propose a seconder. All in agreement? Lisa?
Good job, we can better.
£700 for him. Point number 13 then to consider an application for grant funding by the Magical Lantern Cinema. Which is their calendar event for the year. Where we did discuss it at the finance meeting. Noting that the cinema doesn't, I'm going to read this now, does a lot for the community, but we do have to recognise it is a private business, which limits the ability of us being able to provide as much grant funding as we would want to. So it was recommended by the finance committee to grant an award of £4,300 to be made available towards the cost of 3 of their events being organised. I can remember one of them being the history tour, one of them is a film,
Archive from the National Archive of Wales.
and the other one was the finale event posted outside the Council Cinema.
May I propose as the last one that we go on the recommendation of the finance committee and get on with it, please?
Those are Alan Wood, thank you. The second from Nancy. Thank you. Do we all agree?
I was gonna ask a question, but
Go ahead, Mark.
why have you picked, because there was one a month, wasn't there?
It comes to the pertinent to town itself.
Well, it all is, because it's all from the Magic Lantern.
Yeah, but
It's
I think Chris could answer this one, I think.
So some of the events are purely commercial. So,
Oh, like a film and people paying.
yeah, so they've got some party evenings, they've got ordinary old film screenings, which are commercial. The events that were discussed at the finance committee have a very high community element to them of specific interest that are not a commercial thing. So they're getting archived film footage from the National Library of Wales,
Yeah.
one of the events, history talk, and then the finale will be a community event.
So when you say community
out.
event, free to the
Free.
community of town to go to?
Yeah. Yes.
Because if you're funding something that somebody has to pay to go to, it's not kind of how it should be working, is it?
Mm.
Do you understand what I mean?
We decided on 3 events to support, didn't we?
We did.
I'm not against it. It just,
Yeah.
say like the ticket, this is just, I have not looked into this, but say the tickets were 30 quid and this council's funding it, you've already excluded a lot of people that can't afford a ticket for 30 quid.
Yeah, please.
From memory, the final event in November, for example, was a projection event on the outside of Muslim Mountain, so it would by very
Yeah.
nature be
And then the other 2, what reasons were given for them?
So the history of the building.
Yeah.
And the other one is archive film footage of Towyn and the area. It's not specifically related to the building. It is from the National Library of Wales, films that
Yeah, but
don't often get a screening.
then following on from Mark's question, are those 3 events? Those two extra events, okay, I can appreciate the outside event is free. You know, should we be funding if we are excluding, if that makes sense?
I think, Chairman, when we discussed this again, didn't we?
I thought
They're asking for a lot more than this, really, and there was something that we had to say no to because they weren't open to the public. And I thought that these were 3 events.
3 events, yeah, or 2.
Very good. On
Yes.
that, what Alan's just said, I'll agree with Alan Wynn's proposal to accept it. And go on.
But for the clerk, just to double check, no,
No.
not to double check for that.
I think the clerk should be double checking
Yeah.
before we.
But they
You
are.
watch where you land, they mark if you get on with it.
But not everybody can afford to pay,
No,
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 no.
it's 1 a month, it's
especially with the rates.
The council tax has just gone up.
on the right that we received, it explained it, Mark.
So because of
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, so based on advice from Chris then, on your very valid question, shall we defer until next meetings until Chris has found out the answer?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Sorry,
I'll withdraw. my,
it was just a question.
listening into the school when they were
Ah,
that's
right.
why it's
Okay, deferred until next meeting.
Yeah.
Can I just ask the question, Chair? How is that any different from supportive town spirit link that's going to charge membership fees for people after we've given them a grant? Has any other grant been made to anybody in town that's applied for one where a fee has then been charged for people to participate? Take the point entirely, and I don't disagree with it, but I just want to.
Yeah, but when he started talking about it, he said that it was a private business.
Yes.
The cinema.
Yeah.
This isn't a private
No.
business. So that stands out as one good reason to me. You know, I'm not religious, but if I go to a service in a church, I will put my hand in my pocket and give money to, even if I'm not part of that religious organization. And I do that wherever I go. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't do it. Yeah, so there is, I see there's a big difference between that and a business that is there to make profit. Otherwise.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Well, they would still make profit from the sale of beverages, food for the site.
Yeah.
That's the entrance.
And this was actually stated as a startup help, whereas this is an ongoing thing. And they're actually doing something that they've done before, but they're just making a bigger show of it, and they want the council's help. And I'm not against that.
125 years, isn't it? 120 specials.
Yeah, because but what I'm saying is, it's not just setting up now, is it?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Number 14. To discuss planning application C26 0118 09 AC at Golden Sands. Tom Hull. Yeah, please.
So this application is actually to amend the existing two conditions from the existing planning that was passed some time ago. The two relevant sections are number 2, the development hereby permitted should be carried out in strict conformity with the details shown on the plans numbered 2216/02 Red M, submitted to the local planning authority and contained in the form of application and in any other documents accompanying such application, unless conditions to amend them are included on this planning notice. And section 9, which is with the exception of collection day, the waste stroke recycling bins shall be stored, as detailed on plan 2216/02 Red M.
Any comments to be made?
So you basically mean the Victoria's still way.
No.
No, it's a Golden Sands.
That's right.
As long as the wind doesn't blow that big.
Okay, that's enough.
Quite easily.
The sea wall collapsed before that.
Point 15 then.
What's 15?
Assembly Terrace,
Assembly Terrace.
the house at the big, at the top end there, isn't it? The one where the garage is by the Old Mason's Lodge. By the Corbett Lodge there, yeah.
The one that's been cleared.
Yeah,
Well, that's about that one, is it?
yeah.
Well, I'm going.
You're gonna-
Because it's
Yeah.
Okay. Point 15 then, to discuss planning application C26 0142 09 AC, Assembly Terrace.
Similar to the previous application we've discussed, this is an amendment to the planning. And it actually is almost word for word, it's item number 2 on the planning conditions. The development hereby permitted should be carried out in strict conformity with details shown on the plans numbered 668P 110123. Submitted to the local planning authority and contained in the form of an application and in any other documents accompanying such application, unless conditions to amend them are included on this planning decision notice.
John?
I propose we have no objections. I don't see any objections. Quite through.
Any comments to be made?
Right, tidy up some of the place, won't it?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Right, we'll leave it at that then. Okay. Point 16 then.
Yeah.
To discuss the issue of dog fouling in the Brook Street garden. Eileen.
When we discussed the gates, we didn't discuss wooden gates. Also, we discussed self-closing gates. They're not self-closing gates. You can't close them physically now, so they're not doing their job, the gates. So the gates are open more often than not. I've tried to close them. They've swollen with the dampness and you can't get them even near the clips that close them down.
Yeah, I agree with that, making a difference with the metal or wooden gates. We have it all around the town, big quantities, especially on the promenade and up the high street. So all you want is to purchase self-closing hinges, which will be attached to the gates, if anything is claimed off, and then treat it properly so you don't get any swelling. Nothing inadequate about them.
Okay. Happy? Sorry, I'll stop back to you after.
Sorry, I just wanted to say thank you for bringing it up, Eileen, and I'm gonna, as it's a discussion item rather than any kind of motion, I just want to say it's a wider problem than just the Brook Street garden.
Correct.
It's not just in Towyn, it's in Barmouth, it's in Dolgellau, it's in Carnarvon. I can't walk from the car park to the office without almost stepping in it virtually every 10 meters. It is absolutely disgusting. And there's only one certain group of people that are responsible for it, unfortunately. And they are absolutely disgusting and they should be shamed publicly.
Right.
If it's happening in Carnarvon, where the council is based and where the dog patrol people are going to be based, what hope have we got down here? We know it's difficult getting people down here. I don't know if the clerk can explore if there are any opportunities for, I don't know what can be done. I don't know what it is, but it's disgusting, and people just need to be publicly shamed if they're caught. You know, I don't see why they can't have their photo published. Because it's foul, it's disgusting, and it's a health hazard.
As I say, I take my dog maybe 3-4 times a day. I clean up on my dog messes. And quite often put other dogs messed up to save the people standing there shine.
When a council are responsible for the highways and pavements and footpaths, they are capable of finding people for littering and all of that. So I still can't see why they can't be issuing fines to people for dog fouling. So if they can enforce all of the other things that they're allowed to, like no parking on pavement, stuff like that, why can't they enforce better what is quite obviously a problem, not just in Towyn, but everywhere?
I think the difficulty is there aren't enough of them. And I think when we have met with them before, they have said if there are times of the day that you see that it's worse, you know, they will come down early in the morning and things. Sometimes people just let their dogs out before they go off to work and just let them foul everywhere. So if you know of times of the day, especially around schools and things, they will certainly come down.
Yeah, we have a massive issue with it down Cambrian Road. It seems that every man and his dog literally walks down Cambrian Road with the dogs rushing down the street, because obviously it's quite a safe street. And we have it in the front of our gardens. Now, I know my neighbours have challenged people, and the language that has come back is, well, I mean, it's worse than the dog mess, to be honest, that we constantly pick up from our own grass area. In fact, they let them go down the back of our alley into our car park and onto our private garden bits and do it there. And I've literally opened my window and gone, what are you doing? Oh, it's no, and it's, but the issue with the dog fouling in Brook Street Garden, that is a public piece of land. It is down to, and I don't care, he will be listening, it is down to one person and one person only, and we all know that. And that person himself should be absolutely ashamed of himself. Goodness knows what his own house is like if he can't even pick up after his dog.
Well, as I
Be very
mentioned
careful.
earlier,
No,
when it
I'm
comes
not
to reports like this, it needs to be reported, otherwise the people that need to know don't know. So report it via Gwynedd Council's website or app, and then they can hopefully form intelligence and patterns.
Mhm.
But they don't look after Pendray Garden, do they?
No, it's ours, isn't it? Yeah.
And the thing is, I tried to say thank you to a certain gentleman for clearing up, because I did see him clearing up, and he was foul to me. I couldn't get a word in, and that was hard. All I was trying to say, thank you. I wouldn't have attacked anybody if I'd seen them, because you don't know how they react. So,
Could they just, on the Brook Street garden, maybe put a sign to shut the gate?
you can't shut the gate.
No, I know, but when you can shut it, when it's made so that you can shut
But
it.
if it was we did pass to have them
Right.
Yeah,
self-shutting.
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 Okay.
And we did consider the gates.
Yeah, that won't stop people opening the gate and letting the dog in there. will it?
No, but if the dog is flying around on his own.
Okay. Also tonight, we have received a letter on this topic, so I'd like to thank that person very much for taking the time to write it, to bring it to our attention.
And the green bin has disappeared. I don't know, is there a reason for that?
Maybe. We'll have a chat after. Number 17 then, correspondence requiring a response from council. No, nothing here.
Only with that one.
Yeah. Okay. Number 18 then, to no correspondence that councillors have received by email. Do we have any questions, comments to be made about this list?
I brought mine up earlier.
Just one question. Do you know when the local development plan consultation is going to an end?
It's the end of March, actually, isn't it?
I thought at the end of March, yeah,
Yeah.
at the end of the year.
Are we submitting anything as a body or
It hasn't been discussed by the council. No.
I think they're looking for sites of sites that possible sites.
Site submissions already
Yes.
Go to our one today. Okay. Nothing else? Thanks. Number 19 then, to receive the Innismung Gwyn Trust reports. Do we have anything to share? We do, representative.
Not the big version or the little one.
Okay.
On the 16th of February, the council solicitor received a letter from the legal firm Hugh James, who is claiming to be acting for the trust. This letter appeared to alter a number of points previously agreed by both parties at a meeting held on the 19th of December. That was the meeting that yourself and Kath was present at, myself and Chris. On the 26th of February, the council solicitor responded to Hugh James's letter, raising a number of critical and crucial points and questions, and no reply to that letter has yet been received. But what I need for the councillors to understand is that this is all about two people making it clear that they don't think that the council is a trustee. You were in that meeting, both of you, and it was made clear that the council was a trustee and they accepted it in that meeting. So they've now chosen another solicitor who seems to think on the same lines as them that the council is not a trustee. But we all know that the council is a trustee. If you're not aware of that, I will read a line to you. when this thing was set up in 2019, it was made clear that Tywin Town Council is a trustee and will have one vote and needs to elect a representative. That was made clear back then. Going forward, the council will remain as the charity trustee, having one vote issued on issues to be decided by the trustees of the charity, and we will be able to appoint and authorise a representative to attend meetings. Before my term, it was Aled. Nobody had an issue with that. There seems to be an issue with me being a trustee representative. So this council is a trustee and it has the right to have a representative and a vote at trust meetings. And there has been no trust meetings at all, but decisions are being made by two trustees who are acting unlawfully. So that's all I want to say on the matter.
Thank you. Matthew?
May I be permitted a question?
Yeah, please.
And it's possibly not to you, Mark, it's possibly to the clerk or yourself as chair. I know that Councillor Lloyd Jones has commented in the past about the amount of money that we're spending on legal services. And it does seem to me, based on what you've said there, that another set of solicitors has been instructed to challenge the advice that we've received. What I want to know is, when do we draw a line and when do we move based on the advice that we've received? Because I'm getting quite sick and tired of hearing about the Ynys Mine issue every single month. I'm sure you feel massively frustrated being in the middle of things when you're fighting from a point of view based on the legal advice that we've received as a council that we've paid for. We've got a duty at some point to move forward and act on the advice that we've received. So I'd just like to know, and it might not be answered in this meeting, when are we going to sit down and make a decision?
It probably won't be answered in this meeting.
No, I appreciate that.
You raise a very valid question, and we are hoping to have answers very shortly. Okay. One way or another, it will come back to us all, and we will have to sit down to discuss it again, and say full council, and everything will be spelled out for you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Following on from what Matthew says, of course, any legal advice that you get is what you tell them. And, you know, the costs are just going ridiculous. You need to heads together and work together for the benefit of the trust. And that is the most important thing. At any charity, you work for that charity, for the trust.
Can I just respond? Solicitor, yes, you're right. We'll work in your best interest. However, they will not tell you something that is not legally correct. No. So, you know, we're being told by our solicitor that we are legally a trustee. That is a legal point.
Yes. As long as they get all the information and the correct information and all the minutes correct. Yeah. Yes.
We just have to remember that as councillors, we have an obligation to protect our assets.
Yes.
And I think we can just leave it at that. Or not.
I thought when I read out a trust report, the report would be read out and that would be it. But it seems to have gone into an open discussion about the ins and outs. And not everybody is playing from the same hymn book. They're not singing from the same hymn books. It's clear that this company that was set up by a firm of solicitors that this council employed, and that firm of solicitors from day one has always stated that Tywin Council will remain a trustee and have a representative with one vote to attend trust meetings. And the two people that are against that are the ones that caused all of the costs that this council's incurred so far. And you both, everybody in this room should know who those two people are.
Okay. I'm going to close the meeting there. Thank you all very much.
Let's put the